I issued a statement about 3 or 4 days ago expressing my concerns about some reports in the media that suggested that Atiku Abubakar had had meetings with some generals in the Nigerian military. And based on that, I now raised questions and asked what he was doing, why he was doing it, and so on and so forth. And I suggested that it is possible, if true, and that's the most important thing, if true, that there's a wider script, a hidden agenda, which would not augur well for this country. The text was seen by millions of people all over the world, and of course it raised something of an alarm. The following day, the military authorities responded by saying that there was no such meeting, no such plan, nothing like that was in the offing, and they are great defenders of democracy, and so on and so forth. But now the question has been answered, and that they maintained that the report was fake. Then I accept that it was a fake report, and we have nothing to worry about. And that was the end of it. So I went to the DSS, and of course it was all about this issue of the tweet and so on and so forth. And basically, they spent almost 5 hours. I think we got there at 10 o'clock in the morning. We left at about 4 or 5 or so, I remember. And I was subjected to a very thorough grilling. That's the word that I'll use. The word I use is grilling. They were very, very thorough. They were very, very inquisitive. And they were very professional in their approach. But at the same time, I have to say they were polite, they were reasonable, they were rational. And though it was quite an ordeal, I felt that I was being treated in a very fair manner. And I wasn't being oppressed. And it was very clear to me also that they were not acting on the orders or the requests of the People's Democratic Party. They made it very clear that even before that call came, I know that they'd asked me to come. So this was the position. And during the course of the interrogation, some of the questions they raised, and of course the investigation is still on, so I've been asked to report back on Wednesday, and possibly I'll be going back there once a week. I think it's left to them, but they suggested to me until they now decide whether they feel the need to take the matter up and charge me to court, or whether they feel that I've done nothing wrong. But during the course of the discussion, I think it's fair for me to mention 1 or 2 things. I think it's very, very self-evident that some of the things that were said were regrettable. Why do I say so? When news comes out, like somebody's meeting with army officers, perhaps one should have not simply said it and believed it and accepted it, or even said, well, even if true. Perhaps another course could have been taken, which is perhaps to say, okay, let me ask the authorities privately, let me try and find out before I say anything at all. And I think I would concede that point, that look, sometimes we have to be a little bit more circumspect, especially given the fact that they pointed out, that the medium that issued that statement is virtually faceless. And, so we can't rely on such things. And of course, when I say something on my Twitter handle or anything, it's like the whole world is listening. And apparently, what I said really sent shockwaves in a number of places, really sent shockwaves. And some people were very hurt by that. And I think it's regrettable that that was the course that was taken. I'm always the first to admit when things are not done in the right way. But the most important thing, like I pointed out to them, was that the intention was very clear. The intention was to ensure that the authorities were on top of this situation and perhaps would now investigate Atiku and all the others to know if it's true or if it's not true. And they responded the following day. So I think that was really where there was a source of angst on their part. We could have handled it differently. And of course, there were 1 or 2 other issues. But the most important thing is this. When asked to come to a security agency, any security agency, and perhaps one that is dealing with national security, My inclination as a responsible, decent, civilized person and a patriotic Nigerian is to respond by going, unlike others who were invited and who refused to go. And we know who those people are, up till now.